This is my audience. How important do you think sleep is? A lot of us don't take sleep as seriously as we should be taking it. We stay up all night watching TV or scrolling through our phones or even doing our assignments that we don't realize that we're missing out on an important part of our night. I have a lot of experience with this because I am a college student, so I have gotten both too much and not enough sleep. So I know how these two things can affect you in negative ways. I have 3 good reasons on why you should start caring a little bit more about your sleeping habits. Reason number 1 is how sleep affects your mind and your memory. Reason number 2 is how sleep affects your mood. And reason number 3 is how sleep affects your physical health. These 3 things are just a few of the many reasons we need sleep. Let's discuss how sleep affects our minds and our memories. This is a tricky subject because both too much sleep and not enough sleep can affect how we develop these things. According to Howard Lewine of Harvard Health Publishing, medical editor, May 2014, findings suggest that getting an average amount of sleep each night, 7 hours, will help us maintain memory in later life. More studies done by him find that both undersleepers and oversleepers age 2 years more than those who get enough sleep each night. Not getting enough sleep can also cause blood flow issues, which will in the end affect our minds and how they operate. Moving on to point number 2, how sleep affects our mood. How many of you have woken up in the morning really angry or just irritated? Did you get a full 7 hours of sleep last night? My guess is probably not. Lack of sleep can cause many issues, but it can also cause us to be really irritable and upset for days. This affects not only us, but those around us. Nobody wants to deal with anybody who's angry or irritable all the time. They're going to probably try their best to avoid you at all costs, which in the end makes you even more angry. Not only can it affect our mood in that way, but it can also cause mood disorders if we're not careful. People who lack sleep tend to be angry, sad, and irritable, which springs off more mental diseases such as depression and anxiety. Finally, getting on to point number 3, how sleep affects our physical health. The relationship between sleep and our physical health are well documented, according to Dr. Heather Wright of Sleep Foundation Company, medical editor of 2020. Sleep can really cause some large health concerns if we don't get enough of it, such as obesity and diabetes. These 2 diseases are at a high risk if we don't get the proper amount of sleep each night. You see, when we sleep every night, we develop hormones for the next day. 2 of these hormones are ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin makes you hungry and leptin tells you you're full. If we don't get enough sleep, we produce the ghrelin, and a lot of it, but we don't produce that leptin. So this causes us to overeat because we don't know that we're full. Some ways we can establish better sleeping habits are to establish healthier habits, such as a bedtime routine. A bedtime routine consists of things such as a warm bath or turning on some nice light flowing music to get us in the mood to go to sleep. Something else that we could do to establish a healthier habit is exercise throughout the day. This relaxes our muscles and our minds and just helps us, for later in the day when we're ready to go to bed. We also don't need to go to bed hungry, but we don't need to go to bed on a big meal. We also should probably limit our caffeine intake because this could cause us to not want to go to sleep. To go over what I have talked about in this discussion, I have given you information on how sleep affects your mind and your memory, how it affects your mood, and how it affects your physical health. These three things should be very important to you, as they can affect you as a human being and the way that you carry yourself. I have also given you some ways that you can help fix that. If you develop these better habits, you will become healthier. And that will conclude all that I have for you today.